For years, the Philippine Air Force has dreamed of a modern multi-role fighter fleet. The idea was simple: move beyond light combat aircraft and acquire a platform capable of defending the skies, projecting power, and deterring threats in the West Philippine Sea. The F-16 Block 70, America's latest variant of a proven fighter, seemed like the natural choice. Yet in September 2025, that dream was once again delayed. Manila confirmed that its potential purchase of F-16s has been placed on hold due to budget constraints. This decision underscores the tension between ambition and reality, between the desire for cutting-edge capability and the limits of a modest defense budget. The appeal of the F-16 is undeniable. With advanced AESA radar, modern avionics, long range, and compatibility with a wide array of precision-guided munitions, the Block 70 would give the Philippines capabilities it has never possessed. Compared with the FA-50PH, which currently forms the backbone of the fighter fleet, the F-16 is a true multi-role platform, able to carry heavy payloads, perform air superiority missions, and provide deep strike capability. Symbolically, acquiring the F-16 would also reinforce the alliance with the United States, showcasing that Manila remains a critical partner in Washington's Indo-Pacific strategy. For many defense planners, it seemed the logical step after years of dependence on second-hand aircraft and light fighters. So why has the deal been delayed? The most obvious reason is cost. Even a small squadron of F-16 Block 70 aircraft can cost over $1 billion once weapons, training, simulators, spare parts, and sustainment packages are included. For a country whose entire defense modernization program, Horizon 3, must also cover new frigates, submarines, air defense systems, and ground modernization, the price tag of F-16s is daunting. In other words, the Air Force's ambition is colliding with the Navy's urgent needs and the Army's modernization programs. A nation cannot afford everything at once, and the Philippines has to make choices. Domestic politics also play a role. Successive administrations have struggled to balance defense priorities with pressing social and economic needs. Horizon 3 is the most ambitious modernization plan yet, but it still competes with education, infrastructure, and disaster preparedness in the national budget. Unlike wealthier neighbors, such as Singapore or South Korea, Manila cannot simply allocate vast sums to multiple services simultaneously. The F-16 program is attractive, but its funding would come at the expense of other critical programs, including coastal defense and naval modernization, areas that are arguably more urgent given the maritime challenges posed by China. If the F-16 is delayed, what alternatives remain on the table? The first and most immediate option is to continue expanding the fleet of FA-50PH fighters. Manufactured by Korea Aerospace Industries, the FA-50 is a light combat aircraft that has already proven reliable in Philippine service. With upgrades such as AESA radar, beyond visual range missiles, and precision strike munitions, the FA-50 could serve as a cost-effective stopgap. Its operational costs are lower, training infrastructure is already in place, and additional units could be delivered relatively quickly. The drawback, of course, is that the FA-50 will never fully match the capabilities of a dedicated multi-role fighter like the F-16. The second option is to revisit Saab's offer of the JAS-39 Gripen. Sweden has marketed the Gripen EF as an affordable alternative with low operating costs and excellent interoperability with modern NATO weapons. The Gripen is designed to operate from short runways and austere conditions, features that suit the Philippine archipelago. Politically, however, the Gripen comes with its own complexities. Dependence on European suppliers could complicate logistics, and questions remain over whether Sweden can offer the same financial packages or security guarantees as the United States. Still, if the F-16 becomes politically or financially impossible, the Gripen remains a plausible competitor. The third option is a compromise. Purchase a smaller number of F-16s, perhaps a half squadron, while relying on FA-50s to fill the gap. This would allow Manila to maintain its strategic relationship with Washington and gain access to advanced systems, but at a reduced scale. The problem with this approach is that a tiny fleet of F-16s may struggle to achieve critical mass. Training, sustainment, and operational tempo require economies of scale. Operating only a handful of aircraft risks creating a hollow force that is expensive but not decisive. Strategically, delaying the F-16s carries consequences. The Philippine Air Force remains one of the weakest in Southeast Asia when measured against regional peers. Vietnam fields Su-30 Mk2 fighters. Indonesia is moving ahead with Rafales and F-15EX, and Singapore has already committed to the F-35B. Even Malaysia, despite budget troubles, retains Su-30 MKM aircraft with long range and heavy payloads. In this context, the Philippines risks falling further behind, unable to contest the skies if conflict escalates. Submarines and frigates may strengthen the Navy, but without a credible air component, the armed forces will lack balance. There is also the question of deterrence. The F-16 was meant not just to provide combat capability, but also to signal resolve. Its absence leaves Manila more dependent on external allies for air cover. During recent supply runs to the Sierra Madre outpost in the Spratly Islands, American aircraft and warships shadowed Chinese vessels. That kind of presence underlines the uncomfortable truth. Without stronger air power, the Philippines cannot act alone. Every delay in acquiring modern fighters reinforces this dependence, which may limit Manila's freedom of action in the long term. From a long-term perspective, however, the delay might not be fatal. Defense modernization is a marathon, not a sprint. By focusing first on frigates, corvettes, and coastal defense missiles, the Philippines is addressing the most immediate maritime challenges. Air power can follow once resources allow. Moreover, pressure from the United States and regional partners may eventually yield more favorable financing packages or military aid that makes the F-16 affordable. Alternatively, continued cooperation with South Korea may make advanced FA-50 variants the backbone of a high-low mix, providing a blend of affordability and capability. What is clear is that the Philippine Air Force cannot afford to stand still. Training pipelines must continue, doctrine must evolve, and infrastructure such as air bases and maintenance facilities must be improved, regardless of whether the F-16, Gripen, or FA-50 dominates the fleet. Otherwise, even if the funds materialize in the future, the Air Force will struggle to absorb modern aircraft. The challenge is not just about buying planes, it is about building an ecosystem that sustains them. In the end, the delay of the F-16 purchase is a sobering reminder of the realities facing small and medium powers. Capability is always limited by resources, and strategy is often dictated by what can be afforded, not what is desired. For the Philippines, the choice remains stark. Pursue the ambition of the F-16 and accept the financial strain, or settle for a more modest mix of FA-50s and perhaps Gripens, prioritizing practicality over prestige. Either way, the skies above the West Philippine Sea will remain contested, and Manila must prepare for that reality with or without the aircraft it has long sought.